ugly is over. I don't know about that, dude. I mean, have you been to a Walmart at 4 a.m.? I'll be the judge of that.
In my armpit.
Just a reminder.
I'll be real, bro. I'm just gonna say it on behalf of everybody. If you're a woman and you don't shave your mustache and your armpits, you are ugly as fuck. I'm just gonna be so straight up with you. Nobody likes that shit. If you do, it's because your partner's a pussy and they can't get anybody else. Nobody likes that shit. Now let me go further. I'm gonna have the ladies back a little bit. Let's be real, women. What the fuck? Why are you doing that? What the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, I do believe that if you're a man who requires your woman to do a fair amount of, let's just call it landscaping, you should also be willing to listen to your woman if they ask you to manscape. Because no woman wants to suck your dick and then get all of your pubic hair stuck in their teeth. All right, so let's trim up the bush down there. Let's get rid of some of that testicle hair, right? Let's stop looking like Muck from Pokemon. Let's trim up a little bit here, fellas. Let's try to keep it clean. Let's keep going here.
That I am very fat and very sexy.
So, your
Anyways, here's how to tell your LC sign is cheap.
So, your child has come out to you.
I've had the revelation that I identify as non-binary.
I am still not certain what to make of this. Hi, my name is Sydney.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of motherfuckers are just lying for attention, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there ain't no way that fat, ugly-ass trash can hoe looks themselves in the eye and says, I'm beautiful. And if you are, dear God, give me a cup of that delusion because Jesus Christ, I need it, bro. There's just absolutely no fucking way.
Welcome back to hell. So before we do this, before we do the meat and potatoes, two very important things. Number one, new tea is here. It's finally in stock. So
Thank God.
Shipping your orders. Once again, honestly,
Thank God.
Thank you so much for being patient. I know that these pre-sale times are very long, but I am so excited for you to try the new tea. I think you'll really
I will
like
try
it.
to be
If you
patient.
don't,
I will
I'll
try.
force you.
I will
Then
try.
Number two, and more importantly, your girl, your hell gondola steerer.
Yep.
Steerer? Director?
Uh-huh.
Stick? Wielder, your girl is going on tour in October.
Amazing.
So in a couple months, there will be 9 shows, which means that we can all meet and gather together.
That is not you. Okay, you're doing some, listen, no disrespect. That is not you. You're doing some LTG levels of Photoshop. All right, let's just embrace who we are normally before you make a video about embracing who we are. You Photoshop the fuck out of this picture. Let's keep going here.
On our hell gondola, and you're gonna love it. And you might be wondering, Sydney, what precisely are you gonna do that's gonna entertain us? And that, Simon, is a great question. I have been thinking about this for a number of months and have some of my own fun ideas, but honestly, I actually really would like input from all of you because you guys also have good ideas.
Okay,
so
thanks.
Tell me, what do you want to see? Maybe a little
Great.
bit of this. Or a little bit of this. But you weird internet people know what ain't manly? When my testicles get squished and touch my legs. Who knows? But what I do know
Chat, what the fuck y'all link me?
is that you should all 100% go into my description box, buy some tickets, and come see me. And I'll see you, and it will be wonderful. Because on an actual serious note, I do love running into you guys in everyday life, so I think this will be that, but times 1,000. And that sounds like a lot of fun. And I promise from the
Who is that woman on the
I
left?
will not bore you. I promise.
Oh,
you.
yeah, they're in
Anyway,
Austin, Texas.
tickets in the description box. Get around it. I am very much looking forward to meeting all of you guys, and you guys meeting each other because although
Maybe I'll drop by. You're coming to Austin, Texas. Maybe I'll drop by. Who knows?
this is not a code. It could be. Okay, back to the video.
Okay.
So the other day, I was perusing the internet, as I do. It's a problem, really. And I came across a tweet that perfectly encapsulated a thought that I have also been having recently. In response to a new picture of Demi Lovato looking very feminine and beautiful, the author wrote, said this on Instagram not too...
Am I crazy or does she look like a gay dude now? Am I nuts? Like, why does she look like James Charles with a wig? Like, I don't know. Like, am I crazy here? Like, what the fuck you mean she's looking feminine and beautiful? This looks like handsome Squidward with a wig.
Too long ago, but there was this weird trend where people, mainly celebrities, were uglying, that's very hard to say, uglying themselves, embracing gender dysphoria, and just overall promoting mental illness / an unhealthy lifestyle. It was roughly between the years 2016 to 2023. Something shifted at the end of 2023, and it suddenly became cool to be normal and hot again. Demi Lovato is the poster child of this phenomenon.
Nah, she look weird as fuck. I'm glad we're back to being able to call transgender dysphoria because that is what it is. You know what I mean? That is just what it is. And I don't know why people get so offended by that. You know what I mean? Like gender dysphoria is a mental illness, right? That's just what happens. You know, it's like me. Schizophrenia is a mental illness, and I feel like there's a lot of mental illnesses that a lot of people tell you to listen to, and then they tell you to ignore. And I think that we're going to be seeing this for studies in probably the next 20, 30 years, and why it's dangerous to tell people to embrace their mental illnesses. Because, like, I'll be real. If people told me to listen to mine, man, there'd be disaster. There'd be a disaster on this earth, man. There would be.
She is indeed. Can't even remember to use her own they, them pronouns. Ironic.
I still mess up sometimes and, you know, say, oh, I can't wait to be an aunt one day. And I'm like, wait.
But the reason seeing this post was so funny to me is because ages ago I had actually partially written a video asking why absolutely everything and everyone was so ugly. Modernity, Sydney. It's because of modernity. This was apparently the same idea that a lot of other YouTubers and journalists had as well, spanning multiple social and cultural ideas, with some commenting on how art and entertainment are both soulless and bland, how modern fashion is hideous, and the general unattractiveness associated with wokeism.
Why is everything so ugly? Why is everywhere we go, all of our stores, our advertisements, like everything that we interact with as people in the outside world, our TV, our music, why is it all so ugly?
Because the world is ugly and all you do is spend your time on the internet and you think this false sense of reality that you see via Instagram and TikTok and all this Photoshop and the surgeries, you think that that's real because you're out of touch of society. Everything is ugly. The world is fucking ugly. The world is usually a horrible place, but it's up for you to make the best out of it. You know, wars happen. Crimes happen. You know, the world is a pretty ugly place. It really is. And maybe you don't know that because you're wearing 1 kilogram of makeup right now. There's not a single part of your body that doesn't already look augmented. You have sold yourself a fictitious version of reality and you've bought into that. That's why.
Ugly.
Because, as we've all learned over the last number of years, there is a reason why the blue-haired feminist stereotype persists. And we can all identify who is a they-them based on appearance alone.
I don't like lying to the world about like who I am.
And the temper tantrums and screaming. Not too long ago, I even remember watching the Irish entrant for the Eurovision Song Contest and thinking, how did we end up here, where this type of thing has become culturally normalized? And people are clapping?
Do you know what makes me special? I'm a queer. And I'm a witch!
You are not queer. You are a straight person trying to be interesting. Anyway, the last decade or so has honestly been all about representation and diversity and body positivity and recently gender fluidity, giving us, I would argue, one of the ugliest periods in history. With all of this ideological ugliness injected—
Yeah, back in my day, we just called them tomboys, right? Like some girl thought they were a dude, so they would wear jeans and a tank top, and we just call them tomboys. You know what I mean? But nowadays, you know, we got to genetically modify a penis on them. And then we got to call him Tom. Yeah, it don't really make much sense. All right, anyways.
Into absolutely everything, from politics to entertainment to media to social media. But that seemingly has come to an end recently.
Which really sucks for me, because I thought tomboys were hot as fuck. Am I crazy? Like, I always thought, like, a woman who was more in touch with, like, the boys, you know? Like, that shit was way hotter. Like, wearing, like, the band tees and the Converse shoes and, like, the fucking combat pants. That shit was hot as fuck. Like, I don't really like dresses at all. I think dresses are weird as fuck. I mean, some people pull them off well. But I just prefer, like a tank top and sweatpants on a woman. I think that shit's hot as fuck. I don't know. Does that make me gay? Fuck, sometimes I wish I was.
Because finally, for the first time in a long time, being hot and normal is back in style. Thank fuck. So I want to talk about that because I find all these type of things very interesting, and also I get to remind you all about a lot of weird crap that you've probably forgotten. Also, caveat here among my normal disclaimers, like this video is by no means exhaustive, that obviously attractiveness and ugliness are subjective things. There's also nothing wrong with promoting self-acceptance and actual—
Well, people say that it's subjective. They do say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I'll be real. Some people should just, like, not be weighing in on what they think is beautiful if they think these ugly-ass pieces of garbage are actually attractive, to be completely honest. It's like, damn, like, you're dumb as fuck. Like, I understand that, like, a lot of little kids liked Fred's videos, and beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, but there ain't no way you can convince me that any of these people who liked Fred weren't retarded as fuck. There's just no way.
Body positivity around things that you can't change. No, that does not include being shaped like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm also only concentrating on one specific area of this conversation, but yes, I too would like McDonald's to look like it did in the 90s. So come on board, kids. Get aboard ye old hell gondola, and let's do the thing, because I am ready to re-traumatize you all. But before we once again cuddle up together, let's hear from today's sponsor, Chubbies. As all of you know, I like to make really silly ads for brands. Sorry, Murphy's down here.
Dude, I love that. I love Chubbies. They're awesome.
Earlier, until very recently, there was a huge cultural change in the West when it came to attractiveness. There were a multitude of reasons for this, but some included a kind of knee-jerk reaction to the aesthetics of the 2000s, the rise of the body positivity movement, the emphasis on living one's truth and breaking gender stereotypes, and the feminist attempt to defy what men find attractive. And as a result, we got a wave of what I think has been the intention.
Do you realize how privileged of a society we have to be to where we have so little problems, even though they'll tell you that Donald Trump is causing World War III, that the biggest issue that people are having in their youth are, but what gender am I? We must have it so good as Americans for this to be like one of the biggest issues that the youth are experiencing for. What do I sexually identify as? It is pretty fucking crazy.
Uglification of seemingly everything and everyone.
I see a lot of discourse on TikTok about the male repellent outfit.
I don't know who the hell this is, but this bitch is hot as fuck. Do this. This is good. Is this a man? If this is a man, I'm gay. Male repellent? What the fuck? Holy shit.
And usually it's just like a cute little red cardigan and like maybe some ballet flats. But when I tell you, I'm gonna do you one more. This is the ultimate male repellent form.
Yeah. Yeah. Wear this if you want to stick it to the man. Yep. You know what makes it even worse? If you have your boobs out at the same time too. Oh man, it's the worst. Like you were really sticking it against the male patriarchy if you get your tits out too. Oh man, yep, absolutely. W this woman.
Formula.
Like I mentioned, I think that this uglification is very strongly tied to the stranglehold that progressive woke ideals had on basically everything. And the
Why are we not just addressing that chick was one of the hottest women I've ever seen in my entire life? Hello? Wait, why are we moving past that like she was ugly? What? I don't know what's going on right now. I feel like I'm in fucking bizarro world. What is happening?
aesthetics in turn showed up to match. Showed up to burn my retinas, actually. Celebrities all over the place were starting to—
What the fuck is that? This bitch looks like a Five Nights at Freddy's mob.
Hop on the transgender, non-binary, gender fluid bandwagon.
Jesus.
Going from being quite regular looking or attractive to ghastly overnight. People like singer Sam Smith, who came out as non-binary in 2019, and Demi Lovato, who came out in 2021, changed their appearances to match this development.
Just say whenever there's an ugly person, they identify as non-binary. That way, if you make fun of them, then they can call you a transphobe. Just say it. Right? They just use it as excuses, right? Just say, oh, I'm ugly, so I call myself non-binary. That way you can't make fun of me anymore. Otherwise, I'll cancel you on Twitter.
Smith started appearing on stage wearing outrageous outfits, and that's honestly putting it pretty mildly. During various performances, the singer wore a red latex suit with devil horns, simulated sex acts on dancers on stage, and danced around in fishnets and a corset. At the 2023 Brit Awards, Smith wore an inflatable black Harry jumpsuit with platform heels. What am I looking at here? Head shaved, strange outfits and makeup, doing whatever could be done to appear as non-conventional as possible. And these are just a few examples of the physical changes. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to show you any others. This one is just very upsetting, all on its own. Sometimes I genuinely feel like stylists actually hate the people that they're styling. Because why would you do this? Anyway, Demi Lovato.
It does feel like a prank, doesn't it?
Lovato followed much the same path. In 2021, after her non-binary announcement, Lovato shaved her head, saying that the act was liberating and helped her shrug off gender and sexuality norms. Soon, she opted for baggy, grungy clothes and got a giant spider tattoo on the side of her head, as you do. Around the same time, she also freaked out about a frozen yogurt shop after being triggered by their selection of sugar-free options due to her previously having an eating disorder. But somewhere between then and now, both musicians moved very far away from this kind of appearance. Thank God. Lovato publicly ditched the non-binary thing, telling outlets back in 2022 that it was a lot of effort correcting people who used the wrong pronouns. Soon she got married, and now she's making cute cooking videos. In fairness to Demi Lovato, she was a Disney kid, which I feel like answers a lot of questions in and of itself, and she has had a lot of struggles with addiction.
Bro, if you think being a Disney kid was bad, why don't you look at the experience of being a Nickelodeon kid? Man, that shit is fucked up.
and with mental health and whatnot. So I think
That
that
shit
her
is
becoming
fucked up.
what she is now and sort of returning to this feminized, feminine version of herself probably has more to do with tackling
Y'all seen
those
Victorious,
existing
guys?
issues rather than, I don't know, jumping off of the weird gender identity bandwagon. As far as Sam Smith goes, I don't know. But I do know that very recently, actually in the last couple of days, he posted 2 very nice looking pictures on Instagram and has essentially scrubbed his weird era from the platform entirely. So do with that what you will. This same transformation went for people like Miley Cyrus, Billie Eilish, and even Lizzo, all women who promoted specific, fairly visually unappealing.
Would we agree that Billie Eilish is hot as fuck? Am I crazy, guys? Like a 6? Really? Maybe it's because I like thick eyebrows, man. I've always had an affinity for thick eyebrows. Thick eyebrows and huge boobs, man. Masterful combination.
Aesthetics, only to later turn around and more or less embrace normalcy. And I think this was guided by gender identity and this social concept of living one's truth and being one's authentic self. Basically, every single one of these people, with the exception of Lizzo, but we'll come back to her later, has claimed to be gender fluid or non-binary or some part of the LGBT community. And we see exactly this reflected in women, predominantly, over on TikTok. I am very sorry for what I'm about to show you. No, I'm not. I am lying. It is not a joke that you can look at someone and their particular aesthetic and be—
By the way, if you're wondering why all those celebrities did that then bounced back, is because they don't give a fuck about their own moral code. They'll just say whatever they think that you want them to say in order for them to garner a bigger fan base, because the only thing that they are interested in is themselves, and they're willing to peddle you any sense of, yeah, we're in this together, to make you listen to their fucking music. They have no souls. They're just robots created by corporations to get as much attention as humanly possible.
more or less able to identify their political leanings and beliefs.
Because I'm sexy and chubby, man.
Why aren't you on a diet?
Because I like to eat. Is that such a crime?
The TikTok gender identity aesthetics are based around signaling—
Alright, I'm gonna let you know, if you are above 300 pounds as a woman, you are ugly as fuck. Now, you might find somebody who loves you, cherish them, but you are ugly as fuck. You are, right? And I know that sucks to hear, but not only are you ugly, you are also actively killing yourself. And you don't have anybody in your life who cares about you enough to tell you otherwise. And they tell you that you're beautiful the way you are. You're not. Me, a random stranger, I have more empathy for you than your friends. And I will tell you, you are ugly as fuck and you need to go to the gym or you are going to die an early death. So get to the gym, Tubby. It's not hard. Just keep at it for a year or two and you will live an extra 10 to 15 years. Let's keep going here.
one's rejection of the male and female binary, because those have always been the only two options, guys. I'm sorry. TikTok's anti-fashion trends have genuinely been an attempt to appear as unattractive as possible, and outside of the gender thing, they chalk this up to breaking beauty conventions. This is why we ended up with movements like—
yeah. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, bro. I'm gonna fucking— oh my God. I was gonna say something. I got flashback by this. Holy fuck, I'm gonna puke.
Genu Hairy, that encouraged women to grow out their body hair, and women proudly participated in this.
I'm all natural.
So I have this thing, call it a little quirk if you will. I have hair in my armpits. I have it there for a few reasons. 1, lazy. 2, fuck the patriarchy. And 3, your response to them tells me everything I need to know about you. Man.
Great, because I don't want to talk to your ass if you got that shit either. Because you are nasty as fuck. Hell no, bro. Absolutely not. Thank you. Thank you for disengaging from the conversation. Because I promise you, you having that tells me everything I need to know about you. Good Lord. Like, listen, I can understand if your armpits get long because you're lazy. But if you're doing it intentionally to fight the patriarchy, brother, we are good. We are good. No, thank you. Pass.
I think you've been shaving the wrong part of your body.
On behalf of Chad, with a collective, nah, I'm good. Jesus.
This is also why we ended up with such a huge fat acceptance community.
Bro, this chick looked like she ate 3 other chicks
on the app. What initially started as body positivity, an idea that encouraged people to love themselves despite their flaws or whatever, morphed into fat people wanting representation absolutely everywhere, wanting to see themselves and be accommodated absolutely everywhere. This eventually turned into the outright normalization of obesity.
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy, and I am 100% glorifying obesity, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, sorry, was I?
I know there's nothing I can do about it, but don't worry. Your heart's gonna give out soon, and that'll probably do something about it. So go ahead, keep posting. We'll all be here 40 years longer than you will, Tubby.
Too confident in my own body that I overcame so many struggles to learn how to love? Oh, she's so full of herself now. Well, who the fuck am I supposed to be full of if it ain't me?
I am both too young and too old to be seeing this. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand loving yourself, but maybe we could do that a little less loudly and on a treadmill. But as all of this gained in popularity, as more celebrities jumped on board, the corporate and entertainment spaces saw an opportunity to make a bunch of money. Suddenly, people like Jonathan Van Ness and Alok Vade Menon, a non-binary activist, were appearing in news and media absolutely everywhere. Back in 2023, Burberry published images for a Valentine's Day campaign showing—
That's a shame, because I actually love the show Queer Eye. You guys probably look at me and talk about, like, you know, who I am as a person, and you probably never would have expected that. I love Queer Eye. Thought the show was great. But then somehow every season it almost got too gay. And the episode where I just called it off was the episode where they brought Piff the Magic Dragon. He was a magician. And in order to unlock himself, the 5 gay men convinced him that he needed to become a male stripper in order to embrace who he was. And I said, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm good. It somehow got too fucking gay. The first seasons were really good. Teaching people that gay people are okay and also changing people who are down on their luck's lives. It was a beautiful show. But then it just became about, we're gay, we're gay, we're gay, we're gay. We get it.
Showing a model with a most bizarre haircut, and that's honestly putting it pretty mildly, and another model with double mastectomy scars. For a high-end brand, this felt insanely out of place. I know this isn't directly related, but brands who had absolutely nothing to do with and weren't remotely in the realm of transgenderism decided to jump on the bandwagon too. Like Bloody Bud Light, the redneck man beer brand, partnering with Dylan Mulvaney. Who was this supposed to appeal to? I do think it's interesting that Bud Light has still not recovered from this. They trans, too close to the sun. We had this overemphasis on plus-size inclusion in absolutely everything, and as many of you know, this went far beyond showing everyday normal bodies and fully branched into promoting morbid obesity. Lizzo was the poster child for this, making videos defending being fat, suggesting those critical of her size were anti-body positivity. Tess Holliday was consistently in the news, and in 2018 she appeared on the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine, sparking an intense debate around the promotion of obesity. But she wasn't the only one.
Yeah, I love how Tess Holliday was supposed to be like the face of obesity, but she kept on getting like surgery to fix her jawline, so that way she had a very fat body but an okay face. And that's the thing, right? Like, if you really wanted to accept this fat positivity, why'd you get so many surgeries removing the fat from your fucking face?
And Cosmo wasn't the only magazine. In the same year, Holliday appeared on the cover of the outlet Self. A few years later, in 2022, the same outlet published a series of images of a fat influencer called Jasmine, calling her the future of fitness. She also appeared on the cover of Cosmo. Sydney, not even close. It's pronounced Jessamine, I think. I don't know why you can't read. In 2020, Calvin Klein ran ads with fat trans model Yari Jones. Why are names so hard? Why am I this way? The year before, they ran a campaign with a model who is best described as obese. Never forget what they took.
That pisses me off because I have such a visceral reaction, a full body reaction to women wearing the Calvin Klein underwear and bra. And now they have to ruin it with all their fucking fat fucks, bro. Like, dude, something about a woman being in a black Calvin Klein bra and underwear. Oh my God, that shit sends me, bro.
From us. My issue with this specifically is that in an effort to jump on the body positivity bandwagon, what ended up happening was fat acceptance.
Like, I genuinely feel that the Western government is promoting being obesity because they needed to get McDonald's sales up and Burger King sales up, and they needed to, like, cull the retards. So they told everybody, hey guys, being fat is cool now. Everything the United States, the West, has been promoting shortens the lifespan of the average citizen. Straight up. And it's the truth. Like, okay, you have fat, which, once again, if you're fat, you're going to reduce your lifespan. You're going to die early. And then being trans, what is it, like a 65% depression rate and a 35% suicide rate? It's almost like too coincidental to be an accident. You know, it's fucked up.
became more normalized, and obesity became more normalized, and having deeply and inherently unhealthy habits became more normalized. And I guess what's interesting and what kind of fits into the overall vibe of this video is that many of the primary players during this time have either faded into nothingness or they've gone ahead and lost a ton of weight. Like Lizzo, who recently popped back up after having lost a tremendous amount of weight. And honestly, she looks really great, and I think this is actually quite a cool achievement for her.
Yeah, good for her.
Same goes for other musicians like Meghan Trainor, who once wrote a song about not being skinny and borderline attacking thin people, only to become one of us, and now she looks like a snack. The point is, this period of time gave—
It's because people would rather glorify their insecurities and glorify their flaws rather than actually hardening the fuck up and fixing them.
Gave us some of the most bizarre and upsetting advertising that I have ever seen. All of these brands were trying to emulate the weird gender fluid aesthetics that were coming out of TikTok, and absolutely nobody can change my mind. This is what Gen Z does to us. Stop. All the while, this ugliness was unfolding in other places as well, like in architecture and art and film and television. Even in video games, characters were getting uglier and uglier in an effort to appeal to—
Don't you dare take away the fucking waifus, bro. Oh my God, this was unacceptable, bro. Now, I will admit, and I am going to say this, I'm giving them a massive benefit of the doubt with Fable. Because, and I'm going to show the image.
To female gamers, oh my God.
Right. This bitch is 1,000,000% ugly as fuck. The reason why I am giving this specific game a massive benefit of the doubt, as a guy who has played Fable 1, Fable 2, Fable 3, well over— oh, wait, no, this is a lie. I've never played Fable 1. I've only watched Fable 1. But I've played Fable 2 and I've played Fable 3 well over 40 times. My house burnt down, and they were the only other games that I had besides Skylander. There's a Skylander game. So the thing with Fable is there is a good and bad mechanic. And as you were more good, you'd become more like holy and everybody would love you and you'd become more attractive to everybody. Whereas if you were bad, you would become more ugly and flies would surround you and you would smell like shit and nobody would want to talk to you. So what I'm assuming is, massive assuming, I am giving them such good faith right now. Maybe you start neutrally where you're kind of ugly, and if you do more good things, you become more attractive. I am giving them the world's biggest benefit of the doubt to not fuck up one of the greatest video game trilogies of all time. But we will see, because everybody knows if you're ugly, that means you're a bad guy. Big cope? Guys, I might be coping really hard.
God. And desexualized female characters, female protagonists were made fatter, less attractive, and more bland.
Wait, that's a girl?
Gone were the sexy outfits and beautiful faces, replaced by whatever the hell this is. And none of this translated. Instead, many gamers felt frustrated because nobody asked for this. I mean, one of the biggest draws of playing video games is the escapism that comes with it, so I really can't understand why that would end at attractiveness. I've also talked about this specific topic in another video in great detail, so I will link that in the description box if you're interested in actually hearing a full breakdown of this weird phenomenon.
It's because these people are so insecure of you not being attracted to them, they don't even want to give you a chance to be attracted to an anime character, because it reduces their odds of punishing you with their existence.
Anyway, the rise of gender ideology and the trans movement and the fat acceptance movement and body positivity and the desire to see representation everywhere basically came together and created the perfect storm of ugliness. But fast forward to, well, now, and something has changed drastically. Yes, there are still plenty of weirdos running around on social media and in marketing and advertising and whatnot, but I think largely as the gender ideology and transgender movements have completely fallen off, so too have the aesthetics that have underpinned them. Same goes for obesity and fat acceptance. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's very little of this in advertising at the moment. There's very little of it in the entertainment and media space as well. And I think with the rise of Ozempic and similar type drugs, you see a lot of people now who are able to achieve their weight loss goals with very little effort. And I think that means that body positivity has fallen flat on its face, which to me is super interesting and probably warrants its own video, because it's like, I think it goes to show this whole thing about, oh, love yourself really only applies until you have the ability to actually look how you want without
Yep.
having to put in a ton of effort. Anyway, from celebrities to runways to media and entertainment, everyone seems to have said enough with the ugly. Now, instead of the Chapel Roans of the world, the golden girls of the hour are attractive women like Sabrina Carpenter and Sydney Sweeney. There has been this enormous shift away from the non-binary genderqueer aesthetic in the direction of normal again, with celebrities who once embraced all of this suddenly turning away from it. Runway shows, award shows are suddenly back to having people in normal clothes or beautiful gowns again. Ads and media are giving us attractive people again. Body positivity and fat acceptance is nowhere near as popular in advertising anymore. Movies like Barbie, for example, with its hyper-feminine aesthetic and lead actress Margot Robbie have popped up, appealing to millions of women with the emphasis on being feminine again.
Bro, Barbie was such a good movie until the halfway point when it just became an agenda to promote male hate. It was so fucking gay. Bro, the movie was genuinely so funny. And then after the halfway part, fuck men. Okay, dude, we get it. Like, come on, bro.
Even TikTok has promoted things like the mob wife aesthetic. I've had a lot of trouble saying that. Wearing fur coats, bold lipstick, and Barbiecore, which is exactly what it sounds like. So you might be asking, why the change? Why is everything suddenly cute and hot and skinny and conventional again? The simple answer is that celebrities and brands were trying to convince.
I disagree. I actually don't think it's about being skinny. I remember maybe like 2008's anorexia was promoted. There was this freaky ass bitch with like 0% body fat that everybody thought was hot. That shit was disgusting. I think now we're in a part where like we like a little, yeah, Eugenia Cooney, bro. What the fuck was that? Like that shit was freaky, bro. Like holy shit. Right? But now like men like really thick fucking legs. You know what I mean? Like, I need a dom. That's top of the line. Cute face, little waist with a big behind. Yeah, there we go. Like slender waist. Wait, cute face, little waist. Yeah, small waist, big old ass, big old legs. You know what I'm saying? Like some meat, but like not fat. Like that shit. Like curvy women, but not fat. Like 13% body fat, not 47. All right, cool.
The rest of us that they were promoting self-love and self-acceptance by leaning into and embracing qualities and traits that weren't conventionally attractive. But the sudden abandonment of these specific aesthetics
16's
really
good, yeah,
goes
sure.
to show that at its
Below
core,
47, like in the 20s,
really just
like 18,
marketing
you know what I'm
at the
saying?
end of the day. Celebrities, brands, companies, whatever, just saw an opportunity to make themselves more relatable and human, I guess, by hopping on the ugly train because their fans and viewers and whoever else were jumping on the ugly train. Really, I just blame TikTok at this point. Brands saw a new
I thought she said Tectone. I'm like, damn.
sales demographic and marketing avenue. And everybody ran with it until they realized that the average normal person absolutely hates all of this. And I think that's actually a bit of a trend that I'm noticing here overall with these sort of issues, that there's so many people who misunderstand that what's popular on the internet is not actually popular among regular everyday people. And that's why these initiatives and these movements and whatnot fail on a long enough timeline, because normal people get sick of it, they eventually switch off, then brands notice that they can't make money from these sort of people anymore because we're not interested, and then little by little, the entire movement, ideology, whatever it is, completely falls in a heap. So in the end, obviously there is a ton to talk about when it comes to the uglification of society and culture and what have you, but as a general rule, I really believe that people are entitled to dress however they really want to. And as much as I am partial to dressing alternatively and being a little bit edgy, I am very, very glad to see the end of this weird period of time and the uglification of fashion and makeup and what have you. And if I'm being honest, I'm going to cross my fingers and toes and pray and hope that whatever we have just lived through does not make a resurgence. Now on that note, and before I...
If we get Canada as the 51st state, it will. I really think we need to keep United States and Canada separate. Keep them up there. Nothing against Canadians, right? I lived in Canada. Wasn't a fan of it. But their idea of what's right and wrong is, you know, a little bit different to how I think. Canada is very progressive. I think if we ever get Canada as the 51st state, we're never going to see a Republican in office ever again. Yeah, it's going to be Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. We'll get people like fucking Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris. You know, we'll probably get like the first ever black female trans president in the next 5 years.
I open the floor to all of you. This is just a reminder, check out Chubby's using the link in the description. Like I said, this is a person who is part of our community, so go and show them some love. Go and check out their cute little plushies. And obviously, if
As a Canadian, we humbly reject the offer. Try Mexico. I'm good, bro. How about United States just stays us? Everybody else, hell nah. I'm good, man. Pass.
If it makes sense to you, definitely join.
As a Canadian, I apologize. People were talking. Well, it's not. Once again, I like Canadians. I'm just saying that a lot of them are progressive, and the more progressives there are, the more extreme progressives that there might be. And extreme progressives are just like, all right, okay, we get it. You have 7 horns, you got 8 dicks, all right? Yep, I know, we get it. Yep, absolutely, we accept you, we love you. Oh my God.
In their community. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you think that this last, I don't know, decade or so has been uniquely ugly and terrible? Do you think that it's actually a good thing that people have the ability to express themselves like this, and regardless of their reasons, they should be able to do so? Do you think that all of this is a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Should we prioritize conventionally attractive things, or should we highlight things on the other side of the aisle? What do you think of the fat acceptance movement, the body positivity movement, the transgender movement, and all of the aesthetics that come along with those things? Are they good? Are they bad? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? What do you generally make of this issue overall? I'm sorry about.
I think things were fine. I don't know why we had to fuck it all up with all this playing in pretend land. Yeah, I just don't get it, bro. Like, if you want to glorify being fat, well, like, you just like, okay, so what? You want to die 10, 15 years earlier? You want to die 40 years earlier? Great. I mean, Jesus. I don't know how, like, I'm good. Sydney Watson. This video was fantastic. This video was absolutely fantastic. I apologize if I came off as a bit of a jackass at the beginning. That happens quite a lot. Your video was amazing. If I did upset you with any of my words, I am more than willing to apologize. And I would love to go to your little thing in Austin, Texas, if you want me there. Great video. And by the way, like, comment, subscribe to them, to her. Can I say that, guys? Can I say that? Anyways.